All right, here we are. Um, well, okay. Um, I have a few questions regarding Moonflowers and the concept behind it. And the first one is Moonflowers are plants that need dark and nighttime to bloom, if I'm not mistaken. Why did you name the album this way? What do Moonflowers have in common with the album you've created?
Well, if I understood right, Juha, who is obviously the songwriter
Yeah,
for the band, he made most of the composing and demoing that stuff at night time. So I
yeah,
think that's the most simple uh, answer to that question.
yeah,
But I guess there might be some other kind of symbolic stuff there as well. Maybe it's not the not the most brightest time of the day, obviously,
yeah,
when it's night. So yeah, the album has some topics once again which are not too bright. So
yeah, sure. And what's your interpretation of the album name?
uh, well, I probably kind of uh, rely on that explanation that it was written during nighttime a lot.
Yeah,
But then on the other hand, it's pretty, if you listen to Swallow the Sun, it's kind of like, it's always, there's some beauty there, even it's heavy music.
yeah,
So when you have that kind of beauty, uh, symbolic things there as well, it's probably pretty much, it's a good description for the album, I guess.
yeah. I guess so. So, and in terms of sound, are there any particular influences on the new album, either by another band or artist or anything at all?
Well, I don't think Juha writes anymore in that way that he would, listen to. Everybody has their influences mostly at a young age. Juha is a prog guy. He listened to a lot of Marillion and Rush and stuff like that. So maybe that's why Swallow the Sun is also kind of diverse, or it can be quite diverse, and there's a lot of dynamics
Yeah,
and stuff. But I don't think this album has any outside influences. I think this is all just Juha's, whatever he was feeling at the moment when he was writing this stuff. So,
yeah.
yep.
So, was the creative or recording process of this album affected by the pandemic somehow? Did you have to twist or switch something because of it?
Well, we are not a band which rehearses together, because it's pretty much impossible, because everybody lives in different places.
Yeah,
Juha is in Sweden. Some of us live here in Helsinki. Some live in central Finland. So it's really difficult to get everybody together. So it's kind of, we are already used to that kind of recording process, that everybody does their own part
yeah,
in different places. And we don't really rehearse the songs together at all before recording. It's like, it starts from drums based on Juha's demos, and then everybody builds on that. So it's kind of pretty clear and easy system. It's way easier to do it that way than to have everybody rehearsing many
yeah.
days in some same place.
So you were already used to that sort of recording process.
Yeah, and I kind of like it, because it always, everybody has their own space to do their thing. It would be horrible to do it like in the teen years, that you have 5 guys, waiting at the control room when you are doing your drums or something like that.
Yeah,
It's way better when you have, everybody has their own space and piece to do that stuff, or do their stuff. I think.
Yeah. And how do you prepare yourselves for a new album? What's your mindset whenever walking into the studio?
Well, me personally, I really, really like studio work. It's kind of like I like it way more than playing gigs. I like playing gigs and tours, but they are, heavy and or can be heavy because of all the traveling. But
Yeah.
when you go to studio, it's sort of like if it's a week, let's say we had like 5 days for drums this time. So it's really relaxed and kind of you can just concentrate on one thing and doing the best you can. And I'm a freelancer anyway, so I do recording sessions kind of all the time or pretty often. So
Yeah.
for me, it's pretty natural to do those things.
Yeah, indeed. So I believe there was a question that's better for either you or Miko, but you can interpret it as well. How do you transform painful and grieving situations that you have writes into songs? What's the process behind this? I mean, the process between Yuha's idea and how the band interprets it.
Well, I would say that it's already pretty. Everybody kind of knows what it's gonna be pretty quickly. I mean, Juha makes kind of sort of ready demos, but they, of course, like song structures are there and so on, but then they lack finesse and kind of details and stuff like that. It's pretty bare, but still the main things are there already in the demos. But well, if I will try to answer from Mikko's perspective, because I heard him say something like it's kind of his job is to try to, sing the lyrics in his own way. You can't really put a singer and give a singer some lyrics and then some 5 pages of text how you should sing that text. It's kind of like it takes your own interpretation, especially for the vocalist.
Of course.
Otherwise it won't sound very natural.
Yeah,
but on the other instruments, it's kind of, well, this is now my third studio, let's say fifth, because we had the triple album. But anyway, I pretty much know what Juha will kind of put up with and what he will not. So it's kind of, in that sense, also easy to do our parts because the understanding is already there. We don't have to figure too much. We don't have to fight about stuff too much.
It's all pretty much worked out whenever you walk into the studio. It's
sure. We have, for example, for drums, we have sort of pre-production thing that I would record stuff at my rehearsal space and send it to Juha. And then if there's something he absolutely doesn't like or something like that, then we will change it and go from that. So of course there's this kind of file sending back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's good to notice that there's less of that every time, it seems. Or let's say at least for now, maybe the next album will be a total. We will be fighting the whole whole process or something like that. Who knows?
So do you adjust the music to the lyrics, or is it the other way around, or perhaps it's never the same?
I think Juha writes melodies and chords and melodies and some riffs,
Hmm.
and the lyrics come after.
Oh.
I really, I'm not sure. He should answer this, obviously, but
Yeah, sure.
I'm pretty sure as a guitar player he would firstly write and record melodies and chords, and then the lyrics probably come after. I'm pretty sure about that, yes.
Yeah. So, and given the emotional depth and tragic nature of the album, what was it like when you finished it? How did you and the rest of the band feel?
Well, I don't know if I know any musicians who are completely satisfied and happy and want to listen to that album all the time over and over again. I think when you listen to same songs and even same mistakes, if they are left on the album, sort of, mistakes can be good as well. But
Yeah.
I mean, you are listening to the same stuff so many times that you become sort of deaf what's really happening there.
Yeah.
So I think everybody kind of is very happy it's done, and now probably it can take even a year or something before you can, and you are kind of very comfortable listening to the album.
Yeah.
Because we are obviously going to play those songs live a lot too. So, but anyway, yeah, that's probably. I don't know many musicians who want to listen to their fresh, stuff.
Yeah, you
right
kind of get tired of it at some point.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Sure. The presence of strings on this album is quite high compared to previous albums. Not even mentioning there's a whole classical version of it performed by Trio Knox. So, what was the reason behind this approach to the strings?
I think the idea to make the string album was because I think Helena, who is an old friend of ours, she's been playing with us since a few years back. She has had some conversations with Juha that if Juha would compose something for a string ensemble. But then it turned out, of course, that Juha had this Swallow the Sun album all of a sudden written, and then he just suggested Helena that if they would just participate on this album.
Yeah.
So because there's some kind of a lot of strong melodies and stuff like that there, which can be played by strings easily, and they actually kind of work well in a kind of small setting. You don't really need a huge. It's even better when it's kind of intimate and small. So it just happened that way. And obviously the same strings are used on the electric album as well. So we don't have any programmed string instruments there. It's all real musicians playing. So
yeah, great.
Yeah.
So this was another question for Mikko as well, but I believe you can answer it. What was it like working with Cami Gilbert on All Hallows Grief?
We got to know Cami and Dopper and the whole Oceans of Slumber in 2019. We were touring with them in Europe. They are a bunch of great people, and Cami is obviously pretty special vocalist.
Indeed.
So, and right now everybody wants her to sing on their albums, and we were lucky that she likes Swallow the Sun, so she wanted to participate. But to be honest, we don't really, she was in the States recording at some studio, obviously. So it's it's difficult to say what the process has been for her.
Of course.
But it sounds great, at least. But
Yeah,
we are really happy to have her.
yeah, the final product is amazing. It's such a frail song. It's beautiful.
Yes, that's true.
So, do you have a favorite song on Moonflowers? Could be for any reason. For example, I can decide between Woven into Sorrow and The Fight of Your Life. Those are such slow burners, but they do hit hard. By the way, the black metal section in this house has no name. It's another highlight for sure. But what about you?
Yeah, that has definitely stood out for people, the last song, because it actually has a blast beat, which is,
Yeah,
well, it's not unheard of. I think there was a song on New Moon album which had some blast beat as well. But let's say if we will play that song live, it will be really interesting, of course,
yeah,
and something different in the set, because most of the set is slow, and then you have something there that will kind of fire up the set. So
indeed.
I think I like that for that purpose. But other than that, I really like all of the songs.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cliche, but I
Yeah,
do.
no, yeah, but it's a pretty fine album from start to finish, uh, at least in my opinion. It has no flaws to me.
Oh, great to hear. I wish I could agree. I can't agree yet. Maybe in a while.
Just give it a few months.
Yeah.
So we mentioned that before, but Moonflowers is, in my opinion, quite a ride when it comes to the diversity of its sound. And I believe you've been doing this for a while on previous albums. So, what do you think it's the key to keeping your essence but still innovating and renewing your style?
I think it comes pretty natural for Juha, like I said, because his influences are not that much like heavy metal things. They are more in the Baroque world. Yeah. So I think that results in this kind of big contrasts and having a huge dynamic range, which I really like in a band, to have a completely acoustic stuff and then really heavy and loud stuff. So I think it just comes naturally for his writing.
Yeah.
To do it that way. At least it doesn't get boring, even it's fucking slow and sleepy music, but I mean, there's different contrasts there.
Yeah, indeed. So, moving on from the album itself, you guys already have a tour planned. But do you think it's a possibility to have you visiting Latin America in the not so distant future? Are there any plans?
Well, I totally wish that would happen. The previous time I think was in Brazil, 2016 maybe. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And of course, we just lost 2 years for the pandemic. But anyway, I hope so. There's always, always talk about that. Latin America, Southern America tours. But for some reason, it hasn't been yet kind of maybe there's some practical things we need to solve before we can do like a proper tour there.
Yeah, of course.
But it's definitely always, under construction, because we know that there are big fans, Swallow the Sun fans out there, and
Yeah.
and metal beat people. So
Yeah, I can assure you the enthusiasm is on another level. Have you ever been told like a funny story or an anecdote? I don't know, from Argentina, Chile, from any of those countries you've never visited.
you mean like stories, what has happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. There's all kinds of. I don't think if I should even start talking about,
Yeah.
But I think the one of the, I guess it could be called like a misconception, like, or a misunderstanding, is that, here people think that it's dangerous, or it can be very dangerous to visit some of the countries and some of the cities.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, obviously it's dangerous if you are dealing with dangerous people.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
you have to have right connections and right people, and bands tour there all the time, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Of course. Well, I hope you guys can sort things out and visit us soon. So
We definitely will try. Yes.
I have a last question that is sort of a trademark question in our blog. If you could relate your musical ideas or artistic expression with other forms of art, such as a book, a film, or a painting, which one would it be and why?
I guess it could easily be a film thing, because many, I mean, there's something cinematic about
Yeah.
very slow and slow minor melodies, and also having those strings. Now, for example,
Yeah.
like the Trio Nox album, the string album could be easily used in some movie or series, or so I would say it's like cinema thing.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
I can see it. I can see it because I think I recognize a motive from Woven into Sorrow just before the riff kicks in. There's something cinematic about that motive with the strings. I don't know. I felt like in a James Bond movie just for a second, but I don't know. It was
Yeah,
it was an epic.
I know what you're talking about. To me, it reminds of could be even sci-fi movie,
Yeah.
like some space movie.
But it's just epic. I don't know why. But I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, that I guess that would be all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
And sorry, it wasn't Mikko, it was the other guy.
No, it's all right. I had a great time. The thing is, I was told at the beginning that it would be Mikko, so I had a few questions prepared specifically for him, but you answered them as well with no problem.
Yeah.
And I had a great time. So
okay.
Thank you, and good luck with the album coming out. I loved it. By the way, I have to write a review for it in the coming days. I'm sure
thank you.
I will be giving it
gentle.
a high score. Yeah, I've been listening to it for a few days now, so it's a great album. I believe it's one of your best.
Thank you so much, man.
Well, that would be all. Thank you so much,
Okay.
and have a great day.
Yeah, all the best. Bye bye.
Bye bye.